Hey folks, welcome back to the ColeVette experience. We're finally getting underway. We've had a few parts on order. We've had to delay a few things before we can get more content out. But at this time, we're ready to rock and roll this weekend. We have ordered a couple parts that we're going to review in the next posting throughout the weekend, as we're going to get the harmonic balancer back onto the Corvette and restore its harmony. Because at this point, the car is just sitting down, and that's all we need is to get this on for it to get back onto the road and to enjoy it, especially enjoy the new N11 exhaust we put on it. To that, the content I'm trying to get out for the N11, we seem to have gotten some content on it, but some of the content isn't good enough to kind of put into a video. So I'm going to do a review of how to install the exhaust and then show you the content that I can about how I did install it. So pardon that delay, but at this time, we're going to do a quick product unpackaging, as we just got something that's going to be very helpful to installing the new harmonic balancer. Okay, so we got our package and see what's in it. So the scenario that we ran into is that our cam is an early 60s cam that came with a small block Chevy 327, 300 horsepower. And they weren't fitted, or they did not get manufactured with a drilled hole in the snout that you could put a harmonic balancer bolt in, which they finally figured that out later in the line of the 327 and then into the 350. And what that does is provide a lot of extra security, especially on the higher performance, higher revving versions of the 327. There is a great company out there. Happened to talk to Tom. Thanks for your time. He manufactures a snout fixture that helps drill a hole into the snout of the harmonic balancer so that you can easier and more securely put you drill a hole into the crank so you can more easier and more securely put the harmonic balancer on and then fix it in place with a bolt, which is something that we need to do and that we want to do. It's a tough choice, but at the end of the day, I think it's the right choice. It's a tough choice because it's an original motor, original crank, but it's the right choice because eventually that's something they did. And I know in the C2 Corvette world, or just in the vintage Corvette world in general, you know, judging and getting them NCRS and Bloomington Gold is a thing, which is something we might do down the line. But for now, we want to keep driving it like we have. And to do so, we want it to be secure and we want it to be durable. So we are going to do this. I ordered the fixture with the drill and tap. And so what that's going to allow me to do is drill the hole in as we need. I don't know if I'm going to get this open with one hand. He's done a great job of packaging it. All right. So this comes from a company called 12 Bolt, and I'll put the information, let's see, we'll put it here this time. And 12 Bolt is the manufacturer of this fixture, and what's great about it is he has it all done for you. There are other fixtures out there. Some of the promoting things about this fixture is that it's 100% American made. The quality of the tool is really fantastic. The W bit that comes with it is going to stay on for a while, as long as you use it appropriately. And as Tom had said, low RPM, no need for cutting oil or any oil. And when you first insert it to start drilling, it's going to grab pretty hard into the snout of that cam. So you want to softly start drilling, and we're going to show that in the video so you don't damage this bit. He says that he has done a lot of drilling with his bit since this is original bit, I think he had said. But in any case, it's a bit that he keeps enduring with because he's doing it right, and that's what we intend to do. And then last here is the tap that we're going to use to tap the front of it to then put the bolt that we bought in. So in this whole timing, in the last week or maybe 2 weeks, we've had to take off the harmonic balancer, which there it is there. So we took off the harmonic balancer, and you can see that it has this issue with it. I put that in to show the disparity between the outer and the inner, and then there's this rubber part that goes in between it. It's come apart, and that was introducing wobbling into the drivetrain, into the motor, which was horrible, and unfortunately we had to pull it. So the car has been here, it's ready to go. I've started a few times, it's still in great shape. The N11 exhaust can't wait to get out and start roaring like it's supposed to. Plus I need to finish some tweaking on that and then add the tips to it that I showed in the extra video before. But now, to be able to do this, I need a drill that has a variable speed for low, medium, high, and a clutch, and I don't have that. He mentioned that, hey, using a battery operated drill would be the way to go. The drill I have is not battery operated. It is a plug-in dewalt that I've got 20 years ago, and it still works. So hey, maybe that's a quick review for dewalt. Great drill, 20 years ago, still works. I think we're gonna try to find the next version of that, and we're gonna go get that now. When we come back, we'll be able to put this on the snout, which we're gonna show you now. So how does this actually work? So as you can see, here's some branding for you. 12 bolt snout tool. This is great. So the exposed snout is down here. There's a key in the snout, and the key keys into the harmonic balancer. It's also designed into this tool so that when it's put on, all the shavings will drop out of the key side into that slot that you just seen. So what it really does is align that drill bit to the center of the cam to keep it in place and guide it. So we have kind of a trocar opportunity to go into the snout. There's some measuring you have to do on the bit to get the exact length to drill in, and then we tap and then we're done. So cool part, like to have it. Look forward to reviewing it. All right, so we're gonna head over to a hardware store. We're gonna pick up a battery operated multi or variable speed drill. We're gonna come back, and then either tonight or this weekend, we're gonna get back into the Brad Cave, and we're gonna start getting this car back on the road. All right, we made it home. We selected a drill that we're gonna use, and now we're gonna unbox it. Here we go. We went with a DCD777 C2. We got the brushless 1/2. It's got 340 UWO. It's max 1750 RPM, which we need kind of the slower side. It's got dual speed, 15 clutch settings for torque, and the chuck is a 1/2, and the tool weight's only 2.5. This one comes with extra battery and a bag. So. All right, there we go. Cool, I like the bag. All right. Here we go. So we're going to use this drill, this W drill bit, this fixture, so we're going to use this drill, this W bit, and this fixture, and we are going to tap the front. So the suggestion on this is that you don't really need cutting oil for this, just low RPM and a steady hand, but maybe some cutting oil or some lubricant on the tap that we're going to use to tap the thread. We're gonna have to measure this off. There's a good video. I'll put the link of the video into this post where Tom, who owns the company, shows how to do it and gives suggestions on the bolt. We're also gonna get the bolt that we bought. We're gonna measure that out too. All right, here we are. We have everything set up just ahead of time. We've got the new drill. It has a 2-speed. We want to use a low speed, low RPM suggested by the manufacturer. We've got the W drill bit that we're going to use to drill out the center, and then we also have the tap that we're going to use to tap for the bolt. Here's the bolt. There's a suggested measurement for this to then gauge onto the drill bit, put a piece of tape so you don't go too far, and we're going to do that. I need to reference the video. I'll put Tom's video in this video. I'll put the link in for you to check it out and so you can use it to your benefit as well. But there's plenty of room inside the front of the engine bay for me to do this, and need to be able to get enough strength onto the drill to keep pushing it in this direction as I keep tapping or drilling out the hole while it's in the fixture. So that said, enough talking, and we're going to get to it. Stay tuned. So we finally get to the opportunity to tap, and here I am backing out the tap. What you don't get to see is me advancing the tap in, but just to save you the agony of watching all of that, you simply just advance it a couple turns and then back it out a couple turns. I did use cutting oil for this application, and it helped out a lot. And then I also used some air, just a can of air actually, because I don't have a compressor, just to blow out any filings to ensure that I wasn't gonna take any filings with me in and out. Just seemed like the right thing to do. And so now that I have tapped it and we're about to clean it out, I can now show you what it looks like to have the installed snout bolt or crank bolt put in place, and it looks to be pretty good. It is definitely centered, and the fixture did as it's supposed to and as designed. So big thumbs up and a good review for the 12 bolt snout fixture for drilling out a crank. Thanks to Tom for his information and the conversation we had prior to me getting it, and it did help me get to this place. Now we're going to move on to putting on the harmonic balancer. All right, so preparing to put on the harmonic balancer, we're going to use ultra black sealant. Turns out, and in the link that I have here for 12 bolt, Tom makes a good point that even though the bearing is there and there's a seal between the timing chain cover and the timing chain and then the rest of the motor, oil is still going to come through and it's going to leak right through the harmonic balancer. So sealant is what you want to use, and so we're going to do that. Also, we're getting prepared to get out the, where'd it go? I think it is over here. So we're going to get the also we have the harmonic balancer installer. So we're going to get that put together now. Really easy to put this together. You can do it with one hand. So I need to find the matching adapter, which I think this is it. So this says 7/16/20. That's exactly what this is. If I verify it, I go to the bolt, crank pulley bolt. Well, it doesn't say it on there, but I know it to be a 7/16/20. What else do I know to be 7/16/20? Information that came with the tap. Where is that? Case. So for the tap, we have it as, let's go that way with it, 7/16/20. So we have this all lining up. So we get the 7/16/20 adapter, and we're going to put that into the car. It fits just fine. So let's grab this and assemble the rest of this. Okay, so get here. This will go into here. Let's see. You can tell, you can see basically this is how it's going to go together. Just need to finish the assembly. 1 minute. With the final few turns of the wrench to lock the harmonic balancer into place after using the installation tool, we're going to take it out, put the bolt in, and turn the car on. And here you go. As you can tell, we have solved the issue. We have balance restored back to the C2 Corvette, and we couldn't be happier. We can now get back on the road. Alright, so now that the job is done, I can give a review on the DeWalt drill that I chose. And I'm sure any drill that I would have chose would have been fine for this application. But this one specifically, I was able to utilize the variable speeds here. I went with 1 so I can keep it below 500 RPMs. And just by modulating the trigger halfway, I was able to keep it even below that. So I was trying to maintain about a 200 RPM. And even lower, because at lower you can see and feel the bit grab the metal at a lower speed. We did not use any kind of cutting oil. We did add some at the beginning just to start the drill bit so it doesn't get so it didn't get caught up in the initial drill. After that, it went smooth. It was just a matter of just patience and strength and pulling, in that direction toward the crank the whole time as I was doing it. That became an issue the day after, as I felt my shoulders and triceps were just beat up from that kind of I guess strength training is what it turned out to be, actually. So there's a benefit at the back end of this for me doing it that way. So anyway, great drill. I kept the clutch all the way to the highest tolerance so that it would just keep going without resistance. And the battery, I went through a full charged battery and then half of this battery to get this done. It took that long. In the video, you're not going to see that long. You're just going to see the process and what I'd done. But trust me when I say it was a long process, a couple hours to get this sucker drilled. Okay, thumbs up to the dewalt drill. It's going to replace old trusty here, old faithful that I've had since half of my life, basically. And now it's time to move on to the new technology. I'm still going to be able to use this one. This is going to be the one I go to for everything to start with, and then I'll head on to this one for all other things to move around. All right, and so we're done. Let's do a quick assessment of what it took in terms of time and money to get it done. All right, so quickly, new drill, $100. Fixture to help achieve the goal, $60. Ultra black sealant, about $5. Harmonic balancer puller, that is good. Harmonic balancer puller, that is bad. And then harmonic balancer install. All those are about $25 to, quote unquote rent. When I bring it back, I'll get all that money back. The replacement harmonic balancer was about $277, and I believe that's all the parts. Hours, I'd say about 4 hours of my time, but it took, over a week and a half of waiting for parts to come in and finding the right parts and doing research and going through it. So all in, let's say around $400 to actually get this done, and the time that you have to do it. Not too bad for such a major job to get the motor back running and then back on the road. Okay, so we finished it all. I've had the chance to get the car out and get it for a run, and it's been good. It feels way better. Obviously the vibration is gone. The process has been good. Hopefully this video gave you and everybody watching it a good opportunity to understand what it takes to get this done if you don't want to pull your motor, and that you can in fact do it in your garage, your home garage, without a lift even. And so a couple good check marks there for owning a vintage car and maintaining it yourself. But thanks to those who have subscribed, thanks to those who are watching. Please do comment. It'd be really nice if we can get 1,000 likes on this video and add some more subscriptions to this video. And build the channel. So we're gonna get the car back on the road. We're gonna get it back on the lift, finish out the exhaust. There's a lot of things we have to get to before the winter hits, and we now can do it because the car can now drive again. So with that said, if we didn't know, we all just found out. Thank you for coming along with this journey.